if you happen to not know what your hair type is on the spectrum of hair types, like 2C, 4A, I've never looked at it. I don't know what they are. But if you have always wondered what your real hair type is, might I suggest night sweats? Because I didn't know I had these curls. Like that. So we're going to talk about night sweats while I rehydrate. Now, typically, in my experience at least, from talking to other women, and as a woman who has experienced this myself, I shouldn't have to defend it. Typically, a lot of women's first experience with night sweats is right after they have a baby. So, and nobody tells you ahead of time. It's one of those like weird things, and then it just happens, and you're like, what? Yeah. So you will sweat like crazy, usually for about a week, maybe a few. Like, it varies. And it's just what we're told is, well, it's just like your hormones and like flushing all that shit out of you. But what it actually feels like is that your body is crying in the dark for 8 hours. Like, your body's doing what you want to do right after you had a baby. So small. And then it just stops. And you just kind of move on with life. And you're like, okay, that was a thing that happened. And it flushed out whatever it was supposed to flush out. Because they don't tell you what it's flushing out. Can it get out of my pores? Do I just have a bunch of this shit that's like that my body tried to flush out and it's just sitting there behind a wall? Because my body's shitty. That's women's first experience with night sweats. And then they just move on with life, because at that time, they just had a baby. So like they're seeing now that they are the lowest priority. Like, so much shit has to get done before you can take care of what you need to take care of. There's so many jokes about, I haven't showered for days, and it's not because you're lazy, and it's not because you just want to lay on the couch, it's because you're fucking exhausted, and the last thing you want to do is get up off that couch and clean your body. Makes sense. It's fine. You should live in filth for at least the first year of your child's life. It should be expected, encouraged, and celebrated, because that's the best way to get through it. So you have all of this chaos, and and you're the last priority, so you just don't even think of it. You don't even think of it again. You're just like, okay, well, my body cried for 8 hours a night, if I slept, because baby. And then it stopped, so it must be fine now. Let's just move on. And then sometime in your 40s, or if you're lucky like me in your late 30s, you start having them again. And you're like, what the fuck? I'm relatively far away from having a baby times. Like, The shop is closed. Why am I sweating again? I hated this time. I hated sleeping with a towel on my bed. That was the worst. Let's get this taken care of. And you go to the doctor and they're like, oh yeah, that's going to happen now. For an indeterminate amount of time. Is that the right word? Indeterminate? An undetermined amount of time. You're just gonna have to deal with it because your body's got some shit it needs to cry about. Like, fuck you. What's wrong? What is this? And this is what I think. Hold on, let me get my hand here so I'm not shaking. I've had an awful lot of coffee today. Okay. I think that perimenopause and the symptoms that I've experienced are my body's final attempts to scream at me about knowing her. Like, not even a specific thing that she wants me to do. She just wants me to know her. She just wants me to know my body. She wants to know that I'm going to take care of my body. She wants to know that I'm going to be okay because she's going away. Thank you, body. I am so sorry that I ignored you for so long. I am so sorry that you had to tell me this way. That you had to tell me, please listen to me, by setting off a bomb. And I stepped back and I thought about this situation that's going on in my life where my kid is having an issue with one of his teachers, and I dealt with it by setting off a bomb. Apparently, me and my body are very similar. So I think that perimenopause is my body saying, this cycle that has held you up your whole life, that you have decided to eliminate and stifle and shove down by taking continuous birth control and not allowing your natural hormones. Sorry. Those natural hormones, that cycle, the shit that was still going on in the background, even though you were taking this shit, and you're like, why am I crazy today? I don't have a period anymore. There was still shit going on, dumbass. She's screaming at me. If you don't listen to this fucking body, your old age is going to suck. So, I'm trying to learn how to listen to my body. And this has had a drastic change in my night sweats. Because before I would wake up like I had just gotten out of the pool, soaking wet and shivering. Just waves upon waves of screaming. And then I started doing the myofascial release, and I started being more aware of my body, and I started listening to her really in just the top levels of emotion that are stored in my fascia. And I'm so sorry, girl. So she's no longer screaming at me, but I do still have night sweats sometimes. Those night sweats are entirely different than before. Because I am now listening. I mean, I'm listening like a 5-year-old who really wants to go to the park. I'm not listening great, but some of the words are coming in. I'm listening to my body. And so when I do a significant release, sometimes I'm like, oh, she's going to cry about this in the dark tonight, because I cried about it in the light today. You know, your emotions, God damn it, they are stored in your fascia, in different parts of you. And I don't like to look it up ahead of time, because I don't want confirmation bias. I don't want to be like, oh, in this fascia on this side of my hip, I'm going to hold my anger tensions from the years of 10 to 17. Like, no. I don't want to know. I'm just going to get the pops and the cracks and clear out that fascia. Hold on, I need to drink some more water. And you have to drink so much water, because bitches be trying to wash out lots of old trauma. What am I talking about? Okay, so I'm doing the pops, I'm getting the cracks. And sometimes it feels like tearing. Don't be alarmed. You will know when you reach your muscle. You are not able to rip your own muscle with the strength of your little broke-ass thumb. You're going to know. It stops hurting once you get to the muscle. It stops hurting once that tight-ass muscle is finally released. Like, you're going to feel it. I'm not a doctor. Please don't listen to me. This is just my shit. Okay. So I don't know what kind of emotions or traumas or experiences are going to come up when I'm doing this fascial release, which is kind of a dangerous way to live, but I like to live dangerously. So shit will just come up and you're like, I gotta process this now. And I'll tell some stories about some of the ones that were significant. But random shit will come up and you'll start thinking about something that frustrated you like 17 years ago. And you're like, oh God, now I need to deal with understanding the other party and being aware that they had struggles as well. Like, you gotta therapize this stuff and then get your pops on this stuff. I'm wearing my jammies. I don't give a fuck. So when does she get to release? You know, when does she get to cry? I sat there crying about this all day while I was processing through. You know, I'm feeling all my feelings and I'm coming to terms and I'm letting things go. She gets a turn too. So those are the kind of days when I expect night sweats to come. And they do. But they're far less intrusive and far more respectful of me, because now I'm respecting her. So last night, I had spent a good deal of time working on my face and my hands. And at one point when I was working on my face, like, I legit fell asleep. I was sitting there with like my thumbs like this, on both sides, and I just was like, and so I took a nap because that's what my body needed. I'm sure I'm holding the entire world together with the bridge of my nose, like, woo! You know, when my ex-father-in-law met me, they spoke almost exclusively in Korean in front of me, even though They do speak English, and they're, from California. And I didn't want to be disrespectful, so I just kind of sat there while they screamed at each other in this language I don't know. And I found out later on that one of the things that my ex's dad had said to him was, the bridge of her nose means that she will be a bad wife. Did we even see that? The bridge of my nose. The bridge of my nose means that I would be a bad wife. Well, is that a self-fulfilling prophecy? Or is that magic? I don't know. The bridge of my nose is full of an awful lot of fascia and tension. So I had been working on my face, and I had also been working on my hands because they are very painful. The fascia buildup there is around the knuckles. Well, it's around the whole thing, but it's the fascia around my hands is around my knuckles the thickest. So my knuckles get very painful because they are very constricted. So working on my hands, working on my face. And since I had that super strong reaction where I was like, I have to go to sleep right now, I knew that there was going to be a super strong reaction at night. So the night sweats, when inside me is processing shit, they are respectful because I generally stay asleep most, if not the entire night. I do wake up wet, but it's generally just in my trunk and my hands. I hold a lot of anger in my hands. I'm the person that does this at my sides, while my face is like, okay, absolutely, So I have an awful lot of shit to let go of. So only my trunk and hands are wet. Like today I woke up and my entire hands were pruny, but they were also quite loose. And I was able to get a lot of good pops this morning compared to other mornings where I have night sweats and my fingers and hands are very swollen and painful. Very different feeling. So it's only my trunk and hands, generally. And I sleep through the night, and I'm not swollen. Like it feels more cleansing. It feels like what she's always wanted to do since that first time after my first baby was born. Because it actually does feel relatively cleansing. And although you have to drink an awful lot of water that day, it's worth it. I mean, the fucking water's good for you. Shut up. So I've stopped fighting her on night sweats. And instead we're working together to process shit and make the night sweats beneficial. Who'd have thought that teamwork between your mind and body would make things better? Probably those mind-body connection bitches, huh? So, before I had thought to myself, mind-body connection is bullshit because I am very strong-minded. And if I am unable to fix my body's pain with my mind, that means I am weak. But it's different. It's not that. Mind-body connection is not having to have her scream at me to deal with something. It's having like basic respect for yourself that you wish that men would have for you. So, after deciding to be nice to myself, my night sweats are far more manageable and they are beneficial and they are cleansing and healing.